Hello, welcome to a new video and welcome back to my sewing room. It's been a while, hasn't it? So I want to make a dress because in 2 weeks time I'm going to Italy to have my graduation, in inverted commas, of the art course that I have now finished, completely properly finished. I'm really excited about it. Going to be meeting Ellie Milan, Dimitra Milan, Jake and other members of the team, and I'm really nervous. Gonna have to do lots of social anxiety work but I'm really excited to go, and I wanted to make myself a new dress for it. If I don't manage to finish it in time, I do have the backup one, the one that I made out of a duvet cover. I think even though it's a duvet cover, it does actually look really quite smart. So that's my backup one. You might have seen me wear that at Glastonbury Festival this year, and I wore it at Christmas last year. Anyway, I thought you might like to see some sewing content. If you are here for the sewing, if you like the sewing best, then thank you for your patience. I will try and do some more sewing. I always mean to, it's just time, isn't it? We don't have enough hours in the day. Anyway, I've gathered these fabrics. I've got some beautiful, beautiful sort of turquoisey blue colours. I don't normally wear such bright colours, so I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I mean, isn't that just gorgeous? So far I've got together a pair of, these are all so far from my stash of Indian clothing. So I've got some salwar trousers, a skirt, this fishtail skirt, which has got this beautiful beading on the bottom there. This one I might not use because of the colours in it, but I do like this neckline. It's got this pretty sort of rope detail on the neckline, and I do like that. So this might be my neckline. I haven't made my decisions yet, you know how I go. There's also a zip on the back of this one. I might use that at the back of my dress, but I do have another option, which is this one. So this has this gorgeous, gorgeous detailing across the front. I mean, isn't that absolutely beautiful? Also a zip at the back I could use as well. Obviously the dress is not going to fit me, but I could probably make it work. I'm just wondering if it's a bit too over the top. I'd get your opinion, but it will come in too late because I've got to make this now. I haven't got time to catch up on all my edits, let alone catch up on all my edits and get your opinion and then sew the dress. So is it too much? I'm going to have a moment to think about it. But first of all, I should explain, because it's been so long since I did these videos, that there may be some of you that are a bit newer around here and haven't seen my old content where, well, I started this channel originally to share my sewing and all about my clothing business, which is called Threads of a Fairytale. And to make clothing for it, I take garments that are damaged in some way. For example, this one is torn. You've got lots of tears in the lining here. There's a safety pin holding the zip up at the top. Lots of fading in the lining. The outside of it is not looking too bad. I have to go over, there's lots of pulls in the fabric down here. Oh, and we've got a bleach stain I've got to avoid at the back there. You know, it's things like that. Basically, these trousers have torn at the waistband and the seams are coming apart quite badly. So it's things like that. I mean, this is silk. This is pure silk. This is absolutely beautiful. Yep, that's silk as well. This might be a silk blend, but I'm not sure. That might actually be silk. The linings tend to be viscose, sometimes polyester, but I think mainly viscose, so I think they're quite breathable, and often a silk viscose mix, which we don't often get in the West, basically. Yeah, I think this is a silk viscose mix, this lining. So these fabrics are just far, far too beautiful to just chuck into landfill, so I cut out what's good. I try and use but hide the bits that aren't so good in linings and layers that go underneath and that sort of thing. So that's how I work. If you haven't seen my shop already, it's threadsofafairytale.com. I haven't been adding very much new things to the shop lately. As you might know, I've been focusing on my art, but I'm always open to commissions. The odd order comes in, which keeps it ticking over. Right, that's been a very long introduction. Let's get on with it. I generally start with a good pair of scissors By the way, little recommendation, nothing beats Fiskars for fabric scissors. Honestly, they changed my life. I discovered these far too late in my career. I've bought professional fabric scissors before and they are nothing in comparison to the Fiskars. So maybe save yourself a few years and get yourself some of those. There, that's the front shoulders separated from the back shoulders. Normally I would just cut it, but I unpicked it this time because I'm going to need that tiny little space to attach what will be the back of the dress where the beading isn't. Tiny. That's going to be difficult to get it through the presser foot, but we'll see. Let's get this on the mannequin, I think. Oh no, let's cut the side seams up first and then I'll get it on the mannequin. I cannot believe we are into September already, and you're probably not watching this till October. Today is a really nice day actually. We've got actual sun, but it is cold. I cannot believe how cold it is. I'm already wearing bed socks at night, which is just ridiculous. Anyway, I'm rambling on. Let's catch up on what's happened so far in September. Starting with a barbecue we had on the 1st actually. It was like the weather knew. September started, end of summer, let's rain all day. Oh, I did my best. We'd already planned the barbecue. The weather forecast had been good, but when I saw it started raining, I ran outside. I tucked all of the cushions underneath the table, but it was no good. They were sopping wet. So we ended up getting the camping chairs out the garage for our barbecue, and luckily it stopped raining just long enough for us to eat, and it was weirdly warm. It was quite humid but very sort of foggy and drizzly. It was sort of quite atmospheric. It was quite nice actually. So that kicked off the month very nicely, and it was sort of rounding off our barbecue season. We probably won't have one for quite some time now, but that was nice to get one more in, even if it was a bit damp. Okay, this is the start of my next painting, which is going to be of Godrevy, one of my favourite places, if not the favourite place. So here's my lighthouse. I'm altering the composition slightly because I want the lighthouse dead on the 3rd, and I'm going to put the sun dead on this 3rd. I think I need to make the island a bit smaller actually, but that's what we're doing. And I have been gluing on. It takes so long. I guess sheets of silver leaf would have been much quicker, but I've got these flakes and I'm going to give them a try. They sort of suit the sea, I think, the flakes. That's what I've been doing all evening. I haven't actually done anything like this for a while. During the course we were encouraged to do lots of different things like this, but for my portfolio I've tended not to do anything all that adventurous really as far as mixed media is concerned, but I thought it was about time I gave this a try. I've never used the silver leaf on the watercolour boards. I've been using matte gel. I don't know if this is going to affect the watercolour when I lay it down, how much. And also I've never covered it with gouache before. I've only used oil over the top. I shall say goodbye for now then. I'm waffling on. See you soon. Right, I'm about to start sewing. All the pins are in place and I don't want them to start falling out. It's always tempting to just keep going, adding more and more bits of fabric, but I'm going to stop here and get the basics sewn up. So I have used this bit of fabric that I've got as side panels was from a pair of trousers, and which had one cuff. Luckily one cuff was enough, so I've used that piece here and here to sort of fill in the straps, because I've made the back a bit lower. The tunic originally would have been right up at the back of the neck and I don't find that comfortable, and I might have made the front a bit lower cut as well, so that's why I needed an extra bit up here. Yeah, and once that sewing is done I can relax a bit knowing that the basics are put together, and then I can start creating the fuller skirt. And then our village celebrates a whole weekend of events. We have a flower show. It's your classic village fair, you know, so you've got some stalls around the field and marquees with the little competitions going on for vegetables, fruit, crafts, photography. If you saw my vlog 2 years ago, I showed you what I entered. Haven't done anything since, and to be honest, I don't know, maybe I will again. I feel like I should, because I want the tradition to keep going, but I just get so annoyed with the judges' comment and disagree so much with their choices as well. But it's meant to be fun, but the judges' comments, particularly when they disqualify people for not following the rules to the letter, I just think, well, people aren't going to enter again, are they? And it's just a shame. I just feel like I'd like the judges to loosen up a bit, basically. But that evening, my sister, my brother-in-law, their kids Katie and Harry came along. Yeah, my niece is doing a tour of the universities. Can't believe how grown up they are. But it was really nice because it gave me the opportunity. I was gonna go anyway, I think. They have a barn dance here every year, but I've never been before because Chris won't join in with that sort of thing. And so I roped in all of them and we went along to that for the evening, which was really good fun. I'm so glad that I've been now, and I will definitely make the effort to go again, because yeah, I do like a little bit of a barn dance, so it was fun.
The phrase for "I don't speak Italian" is
Non parlo italiano. Well, it's time to sew again before all the pins start falling out. So I've got bits here, I've got this join here, and all the way down there, and then a piece down the side as well. The biggest difficulty with this one is realising that some of the fabric is see-through. Can you see that? It's a little bit see-through. I think I can get away with it on such a small patch. I think people, and because this is a little bit folded, so that will give it a little bit more coverage. Some bits have lining with it, which is causing a little bit of a problem because it never matches up again, does it? Once you cut into it. But yeah, I mean, look at this massive, look how badly off I was there where I cut it. Inches difference, but never mind. Here's a little tip for you if you are using embellished fabrics. So I've got the bottom half of the dress here. Yeah, when you're attaching these pieces, you don't want it about here because then you'll be sitting on it and it'll be incredibly uncomfortable. So at the back, make sure it's further up high or further below. I think I'm going to need a bit more embellishment on the back. Now I've used up the whole of the dress, I think. Cut into another garment. Actually no, this was the skirt. This was that skirt that I just cut up. Just happens to go incredibly well with the dress. I don't think this was a set, that's just luck. So I'm pleased about that. So yeah, in this space here and this space here, I need to make sure the fabric isn't see-through. So we've just got these little bits that are a little bit see-through. I keep forgetting to chat to you partway through the painting. I feel like I'm struggling with this one, but I also feel like I'm struggling with all of my paintings at the moment, and I think that's just a matter of needing to get comfortable with my process. Like it's still early days really. I mean, this is going to be the 29th picture portfolio. Whilst that's a decent amount of paintings, that's not really a lot to be confident in what you're doing, I suppose. And at this stage I'm a little bit stuck with what to do next, and I'm not sure how much to do abstract, how much to do a bit more realistic. That's sort of where I'm struggling. Also, these blues were far too bright. It said midnight blue, which is just what I wanted, a really deep blue, but that's more like a sapphire blue, so I will have to tone down this blue here. Okay, I think I just need to think about it. Maybe have a drink of water and a biscuit and come back.
The hotel is
L'Hotel.
Where is the hotel? Is
Dove l'Hotel?
there is
La.
The word for left is
Sinistra.
Sinistra.
the word for right.
You know, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to be in 5 really good galleries. That's what I want. Okay. So that I have.
I'm really nervous about this, but I'm going to do the sun now. I haven't really had a lot of practice with gluey things. I'll give it a go. Well, it's been a couple of days, so I thought I'd do a bit of an update. As I didn't film yesterday, I did quite a lot yesterday, I think. Today I'm busy pinning all the skirt pieces together. Oh, I always forget how long that part of things takes. I think, oh, I really thought I was going to get it finished yesterday. The sleeves, I think, are pretty much done, apart from the fact that actually there's so much fabric. I might actually join them up and make a sleeve out of those 2 bits. Look, I kind of feel like I may as well. I mean, normally I just sort of do a flappy bit. Because there was so much, you know, there was a bit more to cover around here that I wanted covered. It ended up being quite voluptuous. So I think I will. I think I'll join those 2 bits up if they reach and create more of a traditional sleeve. And I'll probably cut it shorter. I don't want it quite as long as that. This side is just the right length, and again I think, look, I'll be able to join that up and create a proper sleeve, so that's what I shall do underneath. Less chance of flashing my armpit. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Okay, well, I'm gonna carry on with this, sew this up, fill in some of these obvious gaps, and then try it on to check for length. I've got this bit hanging quite low down, so that's staying quite long, but I'm wondering at the front whether I'll want it that length, the length that it is already, a little bit shorter at the front. Yeah, it's coming together. I've had to go hunting for some more fabric. I found this pair of trousers that had a print on it that I didn't particularly like. So I've just cut around the print and used the bits that weren't printed, and that's become part of the skirt. Why did you try different? Well, it's a dreary dark day, time of year when the light goes on in the middle of the day already. And here's the dress. It's got all of its shape. It's nice and loose, this one. A nice sort of relaxed fit, but elegant. Still got things to do. It's not finished yet. But yesterday I finished filling in all the gaps. Yeah, one of the bits to do is, I don't know if that's going to show on camera, but the lining has split here. So you can see through it here. And here as well at the edge, so I'm going to add some more detail along across the back, which I'd like to do anyway, you know. And there's like bits like this obviously to sort out, check all the joins, particularly with this fabric because that was quite frayy. I need to check that's all secure. Yeah, sort out the sleeves. There's still stuff to do, but we are nearly there. And I'm afraid these are the last clips I have of making this dress. Normally I would talk through the ending and show you everything in detail, but obviously I was in such a rush at the time that I just didn't get to it. So all I have is a little clip of me wearing the dress in Italy on my graduation night. I have to say, I did feel very special. Well, it's the next day. I've been staring at it all day. It's one of those paintings that I feel like I should be spending more time on it, but it's actually come together quite sort of naturally, really. I've obviously been stressing about it. That seems to be my default, to stress about not knowing what to do next. But it sort of happened quite quickly. And I think that's partly because I decided to leave this. It was just so beautiful, this watercolour effect, that I decided to leave it, because originally this was planned to be my focal point and I was going to render it out realistically with the gouache, and so it stood out the most. But it was just so pretty, I had to leave it. I'm really pleased with my sun. I think that worked out fine. I like my sea. The metal foil was covered, can be covered with gouache, so I've managed to blend that in, and I think that just adds that little bit of texture and shimmer, so I think that's nice as well. This corner here, is that in shot? This corner here is just so stunningly beautiful. I have to leave that. The way that the watercolour is beautiful. I'm just not very good at controlling it. Look at that, that's just ghostly and lovely. So I'm leaving that alone, and I think it's okay because it's sort of balanced by this up here, which is sort of a similar feel, and there's sort of watercolour effects up here too, so I think that's okay to leave, you know, as a bit more abstract. And then the next thing I'm going to do is some flowers. I'm going to do them quite detailed, just in this little section here. You've already got a hint of flowers and things around with the splatters and splodges, but I want some realistic looking flowers here too, and so maybe this area here will become the focal point, and these are sort of like a triangle, so it becomes sort of a triangle of interesting bits in the picture. But just before I do that, I'm just going to, I don't like this line that's been left from the Inktense, and once Inktense dries you can't change it. And it dries quite quickly actually, so you have to think quickly when you're using it. So that line is underneath all the watercolour and there's nothing I can do about that, so I'm going to use some gouache and just sort of try and blend it in a little bit, and then I'll do the flowers. So that's the next plan for this painting, and then I think it will be done. I don't think anything else needs work. I've already done some palette knife bits throughout, which is usually the last thing I do, but I thought I may as well do it while I had the paint on my palette. Yeah, I might do some palette knife bits here. It's just some nice thick bits of paint through here, but otherwise I think we're almost there. Here is the finished painting. I'll just hold it up there. I added a little poem very subtly into the waves just here. And what else did I do since I last filmed? Added the highlights on the flowers here. And yeah, just I guess last minute details. So there we are, all finished. I don't know why I didn't film an ending to this at the time. It was a busy time, that's probably why. And also, I didn't really film a proper ending to my sewing, I'm afraid, either. Actually, you do see a little more of it in the actual video of my Italy trip, which will be the week after next. And later on in the summer, I will definitely be wearing it to Cornwall for a proper photo shoot. We were hoping to do one in Italy, but we couldn't. You'll find out why in the Italy video. So yeah, do come back for those. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It would be lovely to see you again if you're new around here. And don't forget, these paintings are available on my website. It's just helenhobden.com, so it should be easy to find if you Google my name. And there we are. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and do share the link with your friends and let them know why you enjoyed it. I would really appreciate that. Okay, I will see you again soon. I hope you're all well. Take care. Bye.